We are at Paris-Roubaix and this is a big one. We are here with the Decathlon AG2R La Mondiale team and we are getting the inside scoop from the team mechanics on how they set up their team bikes for the Savage cobbles. The bike in question is the latest RCR-F and is it a stunner?
And then I'm going to ride the new Van Rysel bike and see if I can survive the cobbles. Before we go and speak to DS Luke Rowe about how the bikes have changed over his 13-year career, but also 10 editions of this race. Oh! Riding these cobbles is just so much fun.
Okay, so now I'm here with Mark from the team. He is a very experienced mechanic. How many years have you been a professional mechanic?
13 years.
13 years.
It's 10 times in the Paris-Roubaix.
So, a little bit of experience then. Mark, what do you do to set up the bikes specifically for Paris-Roubaix?
The big specificity is the tires.
Yep.
Is the 32.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally you use 28.
Yes.
And you have also the bar tape is with gel under, gel under, and the bar tape is 3 millimeter big.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even bigger than a usual tape.
Yeah.
And then just on the tires, do you use a lot lower pressure? Do you use inserts?
No insert.
Okay.
But you have a 3 and 3.5 pressure bar pressure.
Yeah. Oh wow, so that is quite a bit lower than usual. And then down at the chain rings, do you fit bigger chain rings for Paris-Roubaix?
You use 56.
56.
56 in chain ring, yeah, and 44 for the small chain ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a smaller gap.
Yeah.
And then do you use a smaller cassette at the back or
normal cassette?
Yeah.
1134.
Amazing. And then back to the wheels. These are the aero wheels, but I noticed on some of the team bikes you have the all-road wheels. Are they just wider internally?
Use these wheels.
Yeah.
With the rim is more.
Just wider internally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the 45 for the ride.
Any more setup tips from your 10 years of experience?
For the 10 years, you have 53 in the chain ring.
Yeah.
And 46 for the small chain ring. Yeah. For the cobbles, use 46.
Yeah.
And now 56.
Really?
Yeah. And the section, in 10 years, we have 27 maximum with tubular.
Yeah.
And now it's a tubeless.
Yeah.
And 32. Maybe other team use 35.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is why your boys are very fast.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Well, that was super interesting hearing how they set up their bikes for the cobbles, but I think it's time for me to put this thing through its paces.
Riding these cobbles is just so much fun, honestly. I know I'm not built for it, but I love it so much. Oh, there's a corner coming up, so I've got to do some braking. Here we go. Cornering on these cobbles is ridiculous. You've really got to pick a line and just, kind of like pray that you get through it. And really, a lot of the time you can't take the racing line. You've got to choose something that looks relatively clear. Okay, we're coming up to Sector 8, which is, I think, Templuve. It's also where Van Rysel have their pop-up cafe. So kind of the perfect time to mention all of the aero features on this bike. It's massively sculpted in the down tube. Oh, Templuve, this cobble sector is rotten. We've also got, that camera's so good. We've also got massively sculpted front end with the special bar that they've developed just for this bike. What that means is that the aerodynamics are going to be perfectly optimized, but also there's more aero trickery going on in the bar because the drops are specially 3D printed. Well, a section of them is to maximize those aero gains. So that means that sprinters like Sam Bennett will be getting the absolute biggest benefit when they're going for the sprints, but I'm not sure if we've still got the camera attached, but we are having fun. Off the cobbles now, and there's one more thing to mention, because despite this being a full aero bike, Van Rysel have actually managed to squeeze in space for 32mm tyres, and that is the one thing that's going to make the difference on the cobbles for comfort. Now then, a slight note on the comfort front. While the pros are going to be rocking some seriously wide tyres, this is the bike that you would build. So I have got a 26mm tyre on the front. That's the Continental Aero tyre, which does save quite a few watts, but may not be quite so suitable for the cobbles. So I've made it to Roubaix, into the famous velodrome. This place is steeped in history, from the names printed on the showers. Here we go. I'm gonna go on a victory lap and give it the beans in a sprint. Here we go. Going high up on the banking. It is terrifying, but remember, my tyres will grip, my tyres will grip. This race often ends in a small bunch finish, for which you need a really fast bike. Van Rysel said they've made this stiffer. So here we go for the finish line of Roubaix. Woo! Oh, great fun. I don't think that'll ever get old. And then the real riders, the men and women that win, and most of the others, will go just over there onto that grass and have a well-earned drink on the AstroTurf.
Yeah. All right, that's enough of me being beaten up by cobbles. Beside me is Luke Rowe, who had 13 years as a pro and then 10 or so Roubaix or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, we'll go with it, yeah.
Ouch. One, that must have taken a good old mental toll, the stress of these cobble sectors, but also you must have seen some ridiculous changes in the bike tech from what you started on, especially in your junior days, to what the team is riding now. Would you mind going through a few of those?
Just off the top of my head, I'd say probably the three big changes. Firstly, tubeless.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah.
Actually, I might even have four for you. Tubeless, that was huge. And I think it's a topic that quite a lot of people understand and realise, but of course, huge. And with that came the width of the tyres.
Yeah.
The second one was obviously disc brakes. I mean, that was a huge talking point in the sport for a long time. There was the big safety concern. There was a lot of hoo-ha over that. The third one was, you know, from junior to now, which now we take for granted, but the electronic gears and shifting, I mean, that's huge. And then the fourth one, whilst we're up Paris-Roubaix, I think it's more so relevant for this race than any other race, but it goes from the traditional rims, you know, 32 spoke, you know, your Ambrosia.
Ambrosia Nemesis.
They were class.
On the record hubs.
They were class. And
beautiful.
You know, people used to race these, well, at the start of my career, there was guys racing Paris-Roubaix on them, and I think that's, whilst we're here at that race, is quite relevant. So I'd say that's four big changes, probably more, but that's off the top of my head.
Yeah, and then we've got like just the general speeds of the race has gone ridiculous now. Pogacar last week winning Flanders at 45 kilometers per hour, and then these races you regularly see 50 or so. The chainring sizes have got bigger, just like the bars have got narrower. How was it as a progression from your first Roubaix to your last Roubaix, in terms of the sheer speed that it was raced at?
Yeah, well, my first Roubaix was a nightmare. I went into it 20th wheel. Ian Stannard went into it 10th wheel. He punctured, and 500 metres into the first section, I had to give him my wheel. So my first Roubaix was actually very slow, but getting more on topic. Yeah, I mean, it's the topic of conversation now, isn't it, how the speeds of the race are increasing, but you know, it's the whole package, and I think whilst we're on the topic of tech, that's obviously got a huge side of it. I look back at pictures of myself when I was first year pro, and I have 42 center handlebars, and you're riding like that, and you look at it and it's almost laughable, but it's just the way it was, and you don't know it's wrong until something else comes in and you get told it's wrong. But yeah, the speed now is higher than ever, and I think with 28k an hour predicted, 25 to 30, southwesterly wind for Sunday, we could even see the Paris-Roubaix record get broken on Sunday. It wouldn't surprise me. The way it'll be raced wouldn't surprise me, yeah.
And finally, how special is this race? Because this to me as a fan holds a real special place in my heart, but as a racer, what does this mean?
We actually had that discussion in the recon for Julian Jurdy, who's the lead DS for the classics here. For him it was Flanders is number 1 and this is number 2, but for me this is, I mean, last week in Flanders, it's special Flanders. It's got better crowds, Flanders, but yeah, for me this is number 1, and it always has been. I think you just get that bond with it as a young kid, even when you watch it. And then I rode it as a junior, fell in love with it, come and watched the pro version before that actually as a young kid, and I just thought, this is mental. And it's, you get another perspective of it in the car as well, just driving down the Arenberg. I've only ever ridden down it, and you're going, these poor buggers, And last year, I was hurtling into it with no concern, but it's just brutal. If it's one word to kind of sum it up, it's brutal.
Luke, thank you very much.
Nice one, mate. Thank you very much.
I can't wait to see how this bike gets on over the weekend. But for now, make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss our coverage of the hottest Roubaix tech. That'll be coming on Sunday evening. And if you really like the look of this bike, why not check out its climbing sibling? We headed to Lille to test that out. You can see that right here.